Hey everybody and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking all about wax melts and how to make beeswax melts with coconut oil. If you're new here, hello, my name is Leah and I teach all about how to make candles and how to start your own candle making business. I'm doing this by showing you how I'm starting my first candle making business, and I'm going to show you all the steps that I take along the way. First things first, before we get started with the tutorial, let's talk about your setup and everything that you're going to need. Alright, so here is my table. This is the stuff we're going to need for making these wax melts today. First, this is what a wax melt looks like. This is a standard wax melt clamshell, and I will link the Amazon description for these below. Here is the beeswax that I use. You can also get this from Amazon. For this video, I've never used one of these before, but I did order a digital kitchen scale from Amazon Basics, and I'll show you in a little bit what that looks like. I will be using some essential oils today. This is a measuring cup. It has milliliters, but I'll show you the conversion that I'll use for ounces. And this is what I'm going to use for the essential oils today to measure them out. These are the wax clamshells without anything in them. Here is the dye that I'll be using. I'm going to be using green today. So it'll look, I might do a little bit lighter than this. This turned out a little bit more evergreen than I wanted, so I think I'm going to lighten this up just a little bit. And then lastly, I'm going to be using a wax thermometer. You can see that I have zeroed out my scale with my double boiler on top of it. So if I took it off, it says that it's negative 8.3. And if I add it back, it's 0. So this way, it's just going to measure the wax and not measure the double boiler. Okay, so I've gotten the scale to 12 ounces. That is how much wax I'm going to be using for this recipe today. Here we have the coconut oil that I will be using today. For 12 ounces of wax, I will be using a teaspoon. I'm going to be using 9 teaspoons of coconut oil. Next, we will be finding out how much essential oil we need. So this morning, I was working on my blog and I made this nifty chart, and I'll link this in the description box below, but it's how many either ounces or drops you'll need of essential oil for how much wax. So this is really helpful if you're using essential oils because it doesn't have the exact same measurements as fragrance oil. Since we're using 12 ounces of wax for these wax melts, we're going to be using 1 ounce of essential oil or 600 drops. So I went ahead and set this to fluid ounces. We're going to go ahead and zero it out with our measuring cup. So you can see it says that it's 1 fluid ounce. We're going to hit this bottom button and just zero it out first. I'm using 3 different kinds of essential oil today, so we're going to be doing a mixture. So this is 0.6 ounces of lemon oil. That's going to be the first scent that I use, and I'm going to keep filling it up until I get to 1 ounce of oil. Okay, so you can see that it is set to Fahrenheit. We're going to stick this in and measure the heat of the wax. The temperature did reach 186 degrees. Now we're going to add the fragrance oil and the dye. My wax dye is from Hearts and Crafts, and I bought this on Amazon, but you can also buy it through their website. This is the amount of green dye that I'm going to be using today. It's not very much. I'm going to use this much and then see if I want to add any more. And you do want to stir the wax for about 2 minutes once you've added the fragrance and the wax dye. All right, I have set out my wax melt clamshells. I put 6 of them out here. I don't think we're going to be able to fill up that many, but we will see. So this recipe made almost 6. It made 5 full wax melts, and then I am going to use these as sample wax melts. If you are enjoying this video so far, I would encourage you to hit the like button. It really does show YouTube that my videos are helpful and that people are enjoying them, and it helps it get seen by more people. So this is what they look like when they're done before they're labeled. I really love how the color turned out. It might change a little bit more when it's completely done curing, but they look so cute. Another thing I want to note is these are my Sage Wisdom wax melts. They're cedarwood, lemon, and clary sage, and they will be part of my candle line that will be available in the summer. First off, I'm going to show you what a wax melt is. They're these candle wax squares that are fragranced just like the candles that I make, and they come in these little clam shells that you can pop these out and break them and put them in a wax melter. So I'm going to show you how to take one of these out. Since it's beeswax, it does not come out quite as simply as like paraffin or soy, but it does come out pretty good. So you want to just like push with your thumbs on the back side, and it comes out fairly easily. So this is what it'll look like when it's out of the clamshell. And then, I don't really want to do it, but, and then you break it like that. And then you would just break it, and then you can use these little squares in a wax melter. This actually broke really nicely and a little bit easier than I thought that it would. So it's just really simple. And these make really nice gifts. They make very nice presents. This is what the ones that I'm gonna, this is what the ones that I made today look like. And this is the one that I'm going to show you how to make in my tutorial, just coming up here in a minute. Also, if you are a fellow candle maker, you can make little samples by just pouring it just up to the fill line. They're really cute. That's what they look like. These are going to be some samples that I pack in with my orders this summer. And that's just so that people can get a sense of what your other candles smell like without having to buy a full candle. They can just melt down the little sample size, and it should have the same amount of fragrance that you would use in one of your candles so that they get an accurate representation of what a candle would smell like. Thank you guys for sticking around and watching my video. The video I would suggest next is if you're interested in making beeswax candles, go ahead and click on this video right here. I will be linking my full blog post about how to make these specific wax melts in the description box below. I do appreciate you guys so much, and thank you for being here again today. Keep creating, and I'll see you guys in the next one.